They feel good. I feel good. They're the ones that have got to get the job done. I think to their point, we've progressed nicely in the last couple of days. They're, from what I can see, the guys have recovered well. They're ready mentally and physically for what will be an exciting and very illustrious occasion, I would say.
Michele.
Oh, thank you. Hi, coach. This is for you. Michele Giannone from Univision and Turian. Like with Monterrey before the game, it was all Monterrey. For this game, it's all Messi. You guys feel disrespected? Thank you.
I think disrespected maybe is a little bit too strong. I think we all understand the excitement and the energy wrapped around Miami and Lionel Messi, one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player of all time. So I don't think disrespected is the way to put it, but I think we all understand that the way people offer their opinions is that Miami are the favourites. Lionel Messi and Busquets and Alba, are going to be too much for us to deal with. And it sounds like in a lot of people's minds, it's a foregone conclusion. And we're certainly there in the race tomorrow to try and, prove people wrong. I think that's the easiest way of putting it. These guys sitting alongside me and the group have, on many occasions, been in a very similar position. You've just mentioned the Monterrey game. I'm sure if I could read the Mexican media, they'd have been saying the same about the Club America game. So it's really no different in our minds and how we've prepared to any of those games. We're at home. We're in good form. The players are confident. They're in a great place. And that's always a good position to be going into a final.
Next question in the room, please. Let's go right here to the gentleman in the middle.
Yes, Ramon Cisneros from La Campana, the Spanish newspaper in Nashville. How do you prepare for a game like this? I know you do all your training, your regular training, but do you do any kind of analysis of the team that you are going to be playing against?
Yeah, we'll look at every team that we play at and do our very utmost to try and pick out trends in their group, weaknesses that we can exploit, opportunities to take advantage of. I can honestly say, with the footage that I'd looked at of Miami, it was very difficult to try and, create what might be a template for the group to work from. But I think that is in keeping with the quality of the players that they have, especially the 3 new signings. They're world-class players and they're difficult to work out and actually pinpoint. They're going to do this and exactly that. That's not what world-class players do. That's why they are world-class. But I think if you look at the way we've performed and the way that the guys have really gone about their business and stuck to the plan, if you like, of the games that we've played, certainly recently, if we're looking at the Leagues Cup, I don't see any reason why you're not going to see a group on the field tomorrow that are very comfortable in their own skin. We will have a very good idea and I'm sure opportunities to turn the game our way. And like most important games, you're going to find that the team that take advantage of those opportunities, and we've seen Miami do it in the last 6 games, they've taken advantage of that. Our task tomorrow is to put ourselves in a position that ask Miami some questions that have not been asked before.
Let's go to John.
Hi, Gary. John Arnold with the Leagues Cup site. I wanted to ask a little bit about the atmosphere and mood tomorrow? Obviously, the fans don't play, but there's a lot of people who are, we've seen in Philadelphia and Frisco have wanted to see Lionel Messi. The vibe has changed a little bit. You have great supporters here, but what are you hoping for tomorrow from the atmosphere and the mood of the occasion, and what are you expecting if it's any different?
I mean, I would hope that we're going to have the same sort of energy that we've seen on so many occasions here, and these guys will be able to give you a much better idea of the feelings on the field. But certainly being part of that group pitch side, I do think that when you've got a very good fan base, it not only inspires the players, but it picks them up when you're down. It drives players on. It gives you that added percentage or two that in the end, might well be the difference. Will there be a change of clientele because of the way that the ticket pricing has gone, the excitement around Lionel Messi, and maybe some more Miami supporters come out of the woodwork? Who knows? But I still think that we'll have a very, very good support here tomorrow, and that will certainly be a big piece of the puzzle for us.
All right, let's go to Paul in the back.
I think any of you guys can answer this question, but talking to some of the coaches and players who have come up against Miami so far, there's been some question of, did we pay too much respect and give too much space for them to do some of their work? And obviously there's been the flip side of that, where maybe you try to assert yourself on Messi too much, and he got a little bit almost played angry against Orlando, you could say. Wonder how you try to balance that of not trying to give too much respect to Messi, but trying to kind of find the way to play within yourself and be able to neutralize and do the best that you can.
I'm happy if you want me to. Oh, okay, thanks. You've got to go ahead. I did listen. It doesn't surprise me. He's an individual that would seem to have that aura. I've not met the guy, so it's difficult to obviously speak from a personal position. But very, very good players have an aura. These two have an aura because they're confident about their own ability and what they're capable of. There certainly have been some moments in the game that I've watched against some teams that we've run into and understand, quite in depthly in the way that they play, what they're about, their personalities. And there seems to have been, maybe a little bit of a standoff and like you say, be in awe of certainly Lionel Messi and what he's capable of. I also think at the moment, there's a bit of a protective shield around him as well. And I understand that too. The position that the league's in, the investment that's been made in one individual. I get that to a point. But I think, in the modern game anyway, you don't see the sort of physical contact that you might have seen even 10 years ago. Players are very, very well protected now. And I hope tomorrow when we go out there in that competitive arena, the referee just, officiates the game as he normally would. Because it's one thing saying that an individual is enormously capable and creative and can change games. But it's another thing saying, okay, this guy can actually be the difference in where this cup's going to go. And guess what? You're actually not allowed anywhere near him. That will be very, very tough. But no two ways about it. The guys sitting here and the team are going to have a new challenge in front of them. All I can say is that knowing the players in the locker room and understanding the environment where we've come from, some of the difficulties that we've had to endure as well as a new organisation, I don't see any way, shape or form that the game isn't played how we would like it to be played. And if, unfortunately, we're not good enough, that's something completely different. Look, it was, my memory fades, of course, it was that long ago, but it was a wonderful occasion, and 2010 winning the MLS Cup in an organisation that was unfancied was a terrific achievement. The 13 years that have gone by, for most of that, nobody wanted to employ me, so that was pretty difficult to win anything. But we get to this point, and the opportunity, I think, more importantly, to build a group as we have done here with the team and the organisation and the club in general has got some very similar feels to it as that Colorado team had. There's a real togetherness. Annabelle's already mentioned, the spirit and the appreciation for each other, and I think you see that when the guys are out on the field, and those intangibles, when the going gets tough, can definitely be the difference in winning something and not. But the simple fact is, whilst I might joke about, not maybe having the opportunities that I would have liked to have gone on and been in finals or competed at this level, the simple fact is, cup finals don't come around that often. If you look across the league in general, you find that there might be teams that have a real, great 3-4 years, and it falls off and falls away again. The budgeting system and the salary cap is not difficult. It's not easy, to deal with, to keep teams together. So therefore, I think we have to generally look at the fact that we've done a very, very good job here in a short space of time to put ourselves in a wonderful position where, to your point, Claudio, we get the chance to lift the first bit of hardware for the club. And I know I'm speaking from a purely coaching standpoint, but I know these guys and all of the players would want nothing more, of course, at this point than to be able to walk around that field at the end of the game on Saturday and not only thank the fans for what they've offered and the way that they've supported the group, but actually to have some tangible silverware to go with all of their efforts and quality football.